Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off this lesson by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and willing well. Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying. Alright. I would have wished to go live, but all my other devices are dead. So it doesn't mean that the word can't be done. So I screen record and let's put our hands to the plow. It says here in Sirach 10:1, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of the prudent man is well ordered. Okay, the wise judge, how is he wise? Because he feared the Most High, first and foremost. And then afterwards he will instruct his people, because again, how will he instruct these people? In the fear of the Lord. Okay, he will instruct the people in the fear of the Lord, because a kingdom is established by wisdom, and such as the ruler of the city is, as it is written, so are the people. Okay, you see, as it says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So when a wise man is in authority, he teaches the people not only to fear the Lord, okay, but to act accordingly with one another, to be civil. Okay, again, we live in this society where evil is promoted as good and good is promoted as evil. Okay, where Isa Edom, the so-called white man, has been established to take away peace from the earth. Peace equals order and quietness. Okay, order. Okay, tranquility. Okay, peace of mind. Okay, Isa Edom in rulership, you can never expect peace to come out of it, because he is not for peace. Okay, he is for destruction and confusion and death. That's what that devil brings, and that is why the mentality of the people that are not following after Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai or in such a destructive mindset, and regardless if they're into fitness, regardless if they're into if they're in a good health, this and that, regardless, spiritually they're dead people walking, because they're not in tune with the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They're not well instructed. They are instructed in the ways of paganism. They're instructed in the ways of disobedience. They're instructed in the ways of evil. And that is why they will ultimately be led unto death, like sheep unto the slaughter. Okay? An unwise king destroyed his people. Exactly as I just said. When the unwise are in authority, nothing good can come out of it. Not for him and not for the people. Okay? He is not fit to be in the authority position, because again, to be a king, it means for you to be a servant. Okay? The highest servant. Okay, because not only do you have to care about the affairs of the people that are close unto you, but even the poor, the lowly, you have to think about everyone in your kingdom to make sure that they're good. Okay, that they can take care of themselves. Okay, that they are instructed in the ways of the Lord. Okay, so that your kingdom can prosper. Okay, you're only as good, as it said, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Okay. In this kingdom, they don't care about the weakest link. They said, let our strength be the strength of the force, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, the ways of the wicked are not right, man. Okay, his mindset is only to gain for himself while keeping everyone else abased. Okay, because Isa Edom is a demon, man. He can't. It's not in his mind to share or to show love. Okay, because even to share wealth and to rejoice in the benefit of another, that's not in Isa's heart. To see someone else benefit, to see someone else expand and evolve and grow, to him that's a threat. To him that's wickedness. As I said, competition is a sin. That's one of the Rothschilds, I believe, that mentioned that competition is a sin, and that's the mindset, the way that these people in authority think, man. And that is why in this kingdom, okay, it's better to suffer for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai than to exalt and to be honorated and to be acclimated in this kingdom, okay, for wickedness' sake. Okay, you see the power. So again, like at verse 3, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time, okay, which we're coming closer and closer and closer to that time, he will set over it one that is profitable. because again, Isa Edom being as death, being set up to take away peace from the earth, being a profane person, okay, being completely being the literal embodiment of everything that the Lord hates. Okay, he was never meant to be in rulership. As it says, the triumphing of the wicked is short. Okay, the Lord has set up bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, and the saints will take the kingdom. Okay, Isa Edom will not reign. Okay, and it said pertaining to the interpretation of the dream of Daniel. The interpretation is sure. Okay, the stone that was made without hands that will come and destroy the kingdom, which is synonymous with the toes, okay, which represent this evil kingdom, okay, the toes mixed with iron and clay, okay, which means it's divided, okay. You see, that kingdom will be destroyed by Yahushua when at his return. Okay. But even before that, there will be chaos. Okay, because the fire will already be kindled. Even the fact that this vibration of truth is already being spread all over the world. Okay. This vibration, little by little, is making this kingdom crumble, because this kingdom was based off lies and deceit by the man of the Lord, by the Lord Yahweh Bashim El Shah, because again, all glory goes to him. And this is his story. This is his will. Okay, this is his doing. Okay, by his power. Okay, he enlightens men to go out in the highways and byways to do these lessons, to edify one another. Okay, according to this word, according to this truth, and we expose the devils that these elites of this world are. Okay, how they maneuver in the darkness. Okay, how they are against the Lord, how they seek the downfall of everyone. Okay, how they have to be put out of rulership. Okay, so we bring out those facts. We bring out who they are, that they are the vagabond, the people against whom the Lord is angry with. Okay, every day. Okay, and by doing such a thing, their kingdom, which again is based off lies and deception and wickedness, is being brought to its knees. Okay, the trial of the wicked is short, and the Lord has set him up in slippery places. So now we're witnessing the fall, the great fall of Isa Edom, which the climax will be the destruction of America. Okay, and all the other places where the nuclear missiles will hit. Okay, and this is this, as I mentioned, in due time. Okay, in due time the Lord will make these things come to pass, and we're very close and close and close up to that time. Verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Because wisdom, a kingdom is established by wisdom, as it says. See, where is it? Bring it to a kingdom. Here you go. The Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 20 to the point. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bring it to a kingdom. Okay, the desire of wisdom brings you to a kingdom. If you delight, it's like if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the earth, honor wisdom that ye may reign evermore. So not only wisdom brings you to a kingdom, by honoring wisdom and obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, walking in the fear of the Lord, you will retain that kingdom. You will stay in rulership. Okay, as it says it's in was it Baruch? Yeah, it's in Baruch. Salakia. Baruch 3. I'll start at 10, build it up. How happened it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead. Okay, again, defiled mentally, physically, by being in the midst of these wicked people, being surrounded by filth, by the wicked ways. Okay, having to witness these things, and even our people that are in darkness. Okay, that do not seek the Lord. Okay, they are seduced by these things, man. Okay, that are counted with them that go down into the grave. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom. Okay, for if thou hast walked in the ways of the Most High, thou should have dwelt in peace forever. Okay, so if okay, starting with Adam, let's bring it back to the beginning. Starting with Adam, if Adam didn't disobey, okay, Adam would have retained his angelic state on the earth. Okay, Adam would have lived forever. Okay, but because of disobedience, he fell out. Okay, but if he would have obeyed Yahweh, if he would have obeyed the ways of Yahweh, he would have remained. He would have the earth would have been a state of paradise forever. Okay, but again, this is all according to the will of the Lord. Okay, bringing it back to our time in the kingdom of Solomon. Okay, if Solomon did not disobey, and again bringing it back to as the ruler of the city is, so are the citizens. So, okay, so there was 40 years of peace. Why? Because Solomon obeyed the Lord. Because Solomon was serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in fear and trembling. Okay, but once he fell off because of old age and starting following after women and building altars and doing all sorts of abominable work in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that's when the kingdom was divided, man. That's when the Lord wasn't with Solomon anymore, man. Okay, that's when the Lord brought judgment. Okay, by separating the kingdom. Okay, because again, if Solomon retained his integrity and it stayed steadfast for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, even in the sight of his woman, okay, he would have Israel would have dwelt. The story would have been different. Let's say that. Okay, but again, because of the Lord's will, it happened how it happened. Okay, you see, but it all starts with the king. It all starts with the head. When the head when the head is not right, the rest of the body will follow. If the head is right, everything will follow. And that is why when Yahushua returns and establishes righteousness on the earth, everything, starting with the Israelites, they're gonna be healed. Okay, they won't transgress the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua anymore because they're gonna be perfect. Okay, every Israelite that's either translated into the kingdom of heaven or born into the kingdom of heaven will be perfect in the eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and will not sin any longer because they will be changed. They will be changed into a spiritual entities. Okay, they'll have spiritual power, spiritual bodies. Okay, which are not geared to transgress. Okay, that's the word. They're not geared to transgress. Okay, you see, and that's what we're hoping for, man, to be changed, because these bodies are really chains of darkness, which disables us from being able to serve the Lord effectively and to 100% without flaws. Okay, and that's what we're hoping for, to be perfect in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, but that can only happen at the return of Yahushai, and that's what we're hoping for. That's why we're hastening the coming of the Lord. That's why we pray for this kingdom to fall each and every day, man. Okay, because again, the Yahushai is that profitable one that will establish righteousness on the earth. Okay, and bring that kingdom where dwelleth righteousness, and that's what we're seeking for. So I'll end it here. Okay, straight to the point. Esau Edom is the devil, and he has to be eradicated. He has to be put out of rulership, and Yahushua must return to establish order on the earth, which is well needed. Okay, so that the whole earth, that the whole creation can enjoy the works of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying. Straight to the point. Shalom.